Hello, this is Virtualis the Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. Sometimes in a game of chess, you accidentally play a brilliant move. This happened in a game I played yesterday. The opponent led with an uncommon opening, and I knew that I was doing badly by the middle game, as in straight up losing. And then I saw what seemed like a desperate move, but could force a draw, so I did. Only afterwards in the analysis did I see that this move was in fact quite brilliant, as the advantage in the game completely turned around, something that I didn't see in the match. Please enjoy! Let's start with a look at the review. So as you can see, we both played with accuracy around 50%, so you know that this is going to be a wild and interesting game. And we started off reasonably equal, but the opponent definitely got a sort of very, very good advantage. And then, there's my my brilliant move. And yet, right at the end, we end up with a draw. So what happened? Let's have a look at the analysis now. All right, so I had the black pieces, opponent white, and the opponent led with the unusual opening, e5, the Vanet Kruijs Opening, I think. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the Dutch. I played e5, knight f3. I decided to play knight c3, obviously, to defend. Yep, a note. Stockfish reckons directly attacking might have been good as well. Opponent plays bishop c4. Here I played a d5, immediately attacking. And sort of they sort of ended up shuffling their bishop one move, so that potentially gives a slight advantage to me, with loss of tempo. I opted to unpin my knight, given the knight is defending that pawn. But yeah, the pawn could have just pushed forward, actually. I didn't really see that in the actual game. Here I opted to capture back with bishop. They capture the pawn with knight. And here I thought maybe I could bring out the queen. Right after the move, actually, I did see that that queen f6 would have been better, given that there is a simultaneous attack on the knight and the pawn. But I made the move. Opponent now plays d4, which makes sense. They create a sort of nice center and they defend their pawn, defend their knight. I play bishop d6, and the opponent plays f4, which I was sure probably wasn't so good for them. And the problem is sort of the weakening of defense of the king on that side. I sort of I sort of make a blunder of my own. I thought that maybe there was something here with an immediate g5 attacking that pawn. The opponent plays short castles. I play long castles. And so that here they sort of capture pawn with pawn. I thought that, yeah, I can capture back, can't I? But of course, there is a discovered attack there, which I didn't see. However, they played knight captures, and here I thought, this is starting to look pretty bad, given that that's a pretty good fork. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do? And I ended up opting, and obviously I've got to move the queen out of the way. Yeah, I've got to move the queen out of the way, given that otherwise the queen is lost with the knight. Now, the opponent completely controls the F file with that with their rook. And what I thought here was, there is a sort of mate in sort of one. Well, it's not a mate in one threat, is it? But there is a potential actually, that is a potential sort of mate threat, isn't it? If the opponent doesn't do something, because if they don't do something, that would be check, forced to go here, check. Oh no, the king can still sort of escape this way. Yeah, but still looking very bad for the king. So the opponent plays g3. And interesting enough, you can look at that, almost -9 in my favor. Here, I still thought I was in a really, really bad position. I thought that the opponent was completely winning. I didn't necessarily think that that was a problem for the opponent. I didn't realize it was quite so bad for them. But I thought that if I captured I could then force a draw, and I could take myself out of loss because in my mind I had already lost this game. So that's what I did, and this is what Stockfish and chess.com rated as the brilliant move. So captures, and the problem is I don't see how it was. I didn't see how it was written. At the time I thought, yes, this gets me out of a losing position and I can draw the game. But actually, what I didn't see, so to draw the game, to shuffle the king and queen sort of between those two squares. But what I should have done was to move the queen to h4. The king would sort of move back to sort of one of those two positions. Then I can move that knight to f6, and the opponent can't capture without sort of trading. And with that out of the way now, and the queen here, moving the one of the rooks to that file could potentially be checkmate. So what could this have potentially looked like? So I could have gone here, opponent would have gone back here, say, and then move here, and then let's say the opponent decides to get greedy, chomps on one of these rooks. Then I have that move with check. Those squares are so controlled by the queen, so the opponent is now forced to block with queen, and then that would be checkmate. So potentially I had a very, very powerful potential attack, but I didn't see it. So instead, I did the repetition shuffle and did draw the game. Afterwards, when I sort of analyzed the game, I went, oh, I wasn't sure. Was I meant to feel good that I found a brilliant move and then managed to draw from a losing position? Or after getting a winning position, drew and lost? I don't know. Anyway, this was a very interesting game. Good game by the opponent. GG. On reflection, once I'd come to the belief that I was otherwise losing, this coloured my impression of the position. After the move that chess.com rated as brilliant with the bishop sacrifice, I had in fact stripped away all pawns from the opponent's king's defence. With the queen, knight and at least one rook, I had potentially good checkmate chances. In fact, Stockfish rated the match as -9 in my favour as black before I forced the draw by repetition. You win some and you lose some, and you draw some. I hope you found this video interesting, and thanks for watching.